Greetings! Blessed love, everyone. It's Tuesday. I am like lactating with sweat. It's so hot. My boobies are leaking sweat. Seriously, proper hot. You have no idea. And like for all of you bald heads, now I know why you're bald. When you got like this big Chewbacca Wookiee rug attached to your head, it's pouring out of me. So for those of you not in the UK, Wagwan, Tartan James. It is. Hi, Lucky. Hey, Kev. Rattler. It is the hottest August bank holiday on record ever in the UK. Did you know that, John?
Yeah.
So, and we are sat in a room in Loughborough, and we don't have aircon. We ain't even got a window. And I've got two massive lights, like pointing on my face. So, Will, what are you saying? Shenanigans Gaming, what are you saying? Archnin, bald is the only way. I agree, but I just disagree with bald head. Yo, Boba Fred, Crazy Falls, Caleb, and I know Random's on as well. Pie, I don't envy you guys. Oh man, honestly, yo, Jake, I am proper, like, look, that's for just drying my head as we're going. So much content potential in this episode. It's ridiculous. X-Wing content, movie content, streaming content, ridiculously cool model making content, a giveaway, like to make anyone's bank holiday the best bank holiday. Whoever wins what I'm giving away today is going to be one happy bunny. Just so much to get through. I'm not even sure where to start, John. What should we do?
I'm panicking slightly.
What have you done?
I'm wondering what you're going to ask me first.
Have you lost pictures, John? Evening, Alan. Evening, Mr. Paul. I won't do pictures then.
No, do pictures.
Shall I do pictures?
Yeah,
right. So last week, I did what's his name? Vision, and I finished Vision, and I went home, and you know how it is. I do one thing, and it like little magical creative fairies get all over excited, and they go, "Quick, do some more." So I did clear yellow, and I'm really gutted. I did clear yellow at home because it turns out clear yellow is the best colour ever. Right? I did Wolverine on a new ship, so I'm going to show you. I brought them because can I have just top down and my thingy bob, because I just want to show them this.
Oh, hang on.
So, because I'm not sure that the photos you're going to see really show you the colour of Vision. Vision's wicked colour. It's so pretty.
Good job we mixed it, wasn't it?
Right, it is such a beautiful little colour. That says Viz in Orabesh on this one. Right, and we will chuck you up. John's going to start chucking you up some pictures of Vision.
Okay. Right,
while I show you. And I can kind of play with the model a little bit so you can see it from different angles. The underneath. There you go. Right, so John's going to show you that. Don't go into the next ship though, but show him Vision. So yeah, I don't know, does that picture show you the colour, John? This is the problem I have being colourblind. You can see what colour, because it just looks black and white to me, that picture.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like I can't see any colour in it at all.
No, it's good, mate. It's good.
Right, go on.
I'm going.
Flipping from that one. There's the back end. Did Boba Fred come back alive? Yeah. There was a good few of you that have seen these ships over the weekend. And those of you who have that want to testify that you really can't. Oh, you nearly got it in shot then. Hey, Alex. I proper love these ships, although they completely like spoilt my Saturday because I can't roll anything on my dice.
That is pretty smart.
Yes, bless you. Thank you, Archnin. Yeah, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Our subs have really dropped off lately, so anyone that's not subbed up, please do it. Next one coming. Are we ready to jump ship?
Yeah.
Wolverine is in the house. Oh my God, this yellow is ridiculous, right? Now, do you see all the light and dark in this ship is achieved under that clear coat? Okay, this is Wolverine. You can see on that, if I get that right, he's got the little X-Men X on his wings. It's really hard to get the focus. This is the same. This is a U-wing, some scratch-built fins, T-65 engines, Fang fighter. Let's turn it over underneath for you. Some handmade engines with bits from a Z95. The guns modded slightly off of an X-wing on the underneath, and it's yellow and blue, old school Wolverine colours, because he wasn't in the event. He's not. Well, he was in the Avengers back in the day. I know all that stuff's been trashed, but that's where I went, and I needed clear yellow, right, guys? So that is Wolvie. You guys are the first to see this. No one else has seen this ship yet. I proper love this ship so much. How good's those photos?
Yeah,
The colour shift in that yellow is insane.
Yeah, it's really good.
So here's a little tip, right, for those of you using this paint, this clear paint. Good evening, Dad. Mark Jennings, what are you saying? Hello, brother. Bengar. Yeah, I agree. So this was all like silvered, then clear coated over, and then I came to paint these areas, right? And this is like metallic blue, which is also from the Vallejo range. So here's a word of warning. So this is something I've learnt from now using these clear coats. When you paint over the clear coats, the clear coat reacts, right? And it like splits your paint. Even like this black here that was painted, as I painted it, it like split, you know, like milk curdles, right? This side was a real issue. I ended up having to sand it, cut it off with a knife, because it like bubbled and wetted. I think there's a slightly different chemical formula in this new Games Workshop type of this clear to the original Forge World clears, because it never used to do that.
No.
So just be mindful, if you are trying to do it, maybe the better way round would be to clear coat it, seal it with varnish, and then go back and paint over. But you can have repercussions with trying to paint over varnish. So just be aware, it is a bit fiddly when you're trying to put colours over the top of it. The edge highlighting and stuff like that was fine, but these actual big areas of colour, real pain in the bum. And yeah, look, same again, same sort of engine setup as all of them. Right, that's it. X-Wing's done. We should have full screen again, John. I'm so hot. I am hotter than a Kenyon's flip-flop, I tell you.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Look, that is the chair sticking to my sweaty body. Right, so listen, I'll do me a bit of housekeeping and let you know what beauty I'm giving you away. Have you got some pictures? You've read my mind there, didn't you, John? Right, so this week's stretch goal, it's a little bit more than it normally is, but this one's really, really worth it. There's about 30 hours work in this ship, plus you get the ship. Quite happy to supply a dial as well and some cards if you guys don't own that. Let's show you some photos first. This was a 2-part, maybe even 3-part tutorial series I did that was just given to the Patreon members, right? So this is quite a famous ship. It's been all over my Facebook and had massive, massive likes. So kind of a little bit sad to be giving it away. So this is my Lambda. In Arabesh says ST321, famous tagline from the films. And that is a really, really insane paint job. When you get them in your hands, you will appreciate how beautiful this ship is. If you'd like to see any more pictures of that, go on to my Facebook page, go into the photos section, you'll find like a section called Imperial or Imperial 2. They're in there for you to have a look at. This really is a properly stunning ship. A little bit, even John's like, I'm entering for this one. I want this ship.
Oh, you can see the stars.
You can see the stars. Yeah. Beautiful big canopy. It's got these stunning grey fades with the airbrush, and then really beautiful edge highlighting, the blue-white kind of thing that I used to do with first order paint schemes. I see, and this is the transition between the Empire stock in the First Order.
Yeah.
They're not just going to bin it; they repainted it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Repurposed. So right, that is your stretch goal. John's going to make that a bit smaller now.
Yeah, I am.
He is going to do that. I love him for that. And you can donate by clicking on the links that John will chuck up. It comes up every so often in chat. If you cheer or subscribe, you get spondoolies, and if you donate, you'll get spondoolies. And in order to enter the giveaway for that ship, you need to have 500 spondoolies for a ticket. You get one spondoolie for every penny you donate. So thank you very much in advance. And I will push on a little bit just to tell you what we're doing today. We're not going to go top down yet because we've got other stuff to do. Hey, thank you, Luke.
That won't be necessary.
We're doing these. All right, these are, I've got 3 of them. 2. I've got headless here at the moment. Got a headless. That's not going to happen when we're doing top down, is it?
No, when you top down.
Okay. Can you imagine if we
Green
chroma
stuff in.
keyed out all the green and then you can't see any of the subject matter in his content?
It'd be bad.
It's me working on invisible stuff.
on the background. You just put more background.
What have I got in my eye? I am the best model maker in the world because I don't even need to see what I'm looking at. Right, however, there's been some big news dropped past few days. And I'm not talking about Euros, and we can have an amazing chat about Euros as we're painting and working. 2 Star Wars trailers, right? And we don't normally do this, but we're going to show them, right?
They are indeed.
Let me move across this way a bit. John wants me to watch these on stream because I haven't seen them full screen. So here we go. This is the Mandalorian, people. I'm going to shut up. Is that an old U-wing?
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Don't you agree?
So good!
I'm so stoked for that. That's amazing.
That's ridiculous. Did you see IG? Did you see IG, we are going to, do you know what? Go straight to Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker, second trailer.
Give me 1 second. It's going to take me.
Oh, I thought it was about to just go there.
No.
Right.
I just need to resize the.
How good does that look? And like as the UK, so those of you watching in America, there's no like news of us even getting that streaming service. I mean, for me personally, I ain't that bothered because it means the rest of the country don't get to see it either until it's released on DVD. But it's funny, right? With that trailer, so I was having this conversation with someone, and in the Clone Wars, in the cartoon series, where you have the Assassin's droid, and they're really like fast and move, and I was like, how are they ever going to do that and make it not look corny? And that's how.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you get Dave Filoni involved and the guy that did Iron Man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah.
His ship, all new Imperial kit, because I've even seen Lego have leaked some stuff, so you can see how stuff's changed.
Yeah.
So
Ben, you're right. We are getting it, but I believe there's a licensing problem in the UK because there's already a Disney Channel here, a streaming Disney Channel. It's not very well known, but there is, and that's why it's not been announced in the UK. But we'll go on to Skywalker. Sure.
Yeah, it's bad. Early 2020, man. Early 2020. That's nonsense.
Has that started?
Yeah. I've got to move a bit, or they're just sitting with my chin at the bottom of the screen.
We've passed on all we know. A 1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight. Your journey. Yes, it's him.
Yeah.
She had a red lightsaber.
Yeah. Go away.
Why has she got a dark lightsaber? Well, what? Nah, it ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Sith Ray.
Nah, it ain't happening.
She could have been the bad one all along, you know.
I've worked it out. I worked it out. It's alright. Get out of it. I know what's going on there. It's a Lukey sequence, isn't it? Like in Empire. It's going to be so good. How good's this year going to end? It might have started badly for some of us, but it's going to end wickedly. Oh my God. Yeah, so, yeah, Resistance, Y-Wing. Oh, what? Resistance, Y-Wing came in? Right, Force Vision. Something, Luke. Cage. Yeah, I agree. Damn it, December. Oh, I know. Do you know what? It's going to be so good. I get so emotional. There hasn't been one of those I haven't cried yet. And I mean, Last Jedi I cried just because it was terrible. But oh my God, it's going to be amazing. I love the beginning actually that it wasn't. Look, here's a load of new footage.
Yeah.
Forget about some new footage.
It's kind of
do you know what?
the last
You can have 30 seconds
yeah.
of nothing.
Yeah.
But actually, just remember what is getting put to bed now.
Yeah. Well, JJ's paying tribute to the old films, isn't he?
Imperial Fleet. Yeah, I heard Vader breathing, which is very curious. Jin the Empire, flight suit from Rogue One. Yeah, do you know what? JJ has a habit of throwing curveballs in trailers, number one.
So did Disney.
Number two, I genuinely think if that is in the film, it's like one of those. Like she had that mirror thing in Last Jedi, didn't she? Where she sees herself and. Wow. What a start to the show. Right. We're going to start making some models. I'm going to calm myself down. I'm going to have a drink and I'm going to look at my sweaty brow. Look, people. Look. It's got to be, I hope so. But you know what? She looked pretty badass, even as a Sith. And that lightsaber, what was that all about? It was like nunchuck saber or something. Very, very good. Or is she Palpatine's daughter? And at the end, the galaxy's just going to be left in darkness.
Wow.
Time for a whole new set of films.
Who knows? Kylo's always struggled with the pull of the light side.
And let's all
Maybe
face
they
facts,
swap.
all you men out there. You'd all like a dominant Ray, wouldn't you? With a red lightsaber and black leather.
Red hot. Like,
Yeah. Let's just dress Ray up in some black leather just for rating figures.
Yeah.
It's
They
going to
wouldn't do
happen,
that.
isn't it?
Not just for rating figures, George.
Is she possessed by power? Who knows what's going on? But yeah, no, just for the betterment of life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what that's for. Yeah, the poster is pretty cool. So let's get top and bottom down, and we're going to start doing some stuff. Right, so today's episode is all about dealing with these things. We're doing so much model making. So much, right? But this is, some of it's quite fiddly, tricky. Some of it's also lots of tips and tricks, right? I'm really going to empty my box of tricks out onto you guys today, right? But we are working predominantly with green stuff. So some of it I've had to do before, and some of it I'm going to do, and it won't be finished, right? Thank you, JR. So this is the standard figure that comes out of the pop box, right? They are made of plastic, but it's not your traditional like Games Workshop plastic. It is hard, but it is soft, right? So I did have a little fiddle with this. Hey Simran and hey JR. I did have a little fiddle trying to see if it just came apart easily. It doesn't. The head though does come off with a bit of persuasion. Now on each of these, because I've been doing it to all of them, I took the head off and then I went round the inside here with a knife. You can see it's not perfect, but that's to ease this coming on and off. And it does still clip on nice and tight, but I can get it off to paint it. Because when you turn these, they rub on these top parts. So we need to be able to paint this model at least in 2 parts, right? So before I get on to what we're doing, let me talk you through the bases, the basic things on this model before you start doing anything. If you want to paint it, that personally I think you need to do, right? Most things that are cast in plastic have things called mould lines, and this is a mould line. It's very hard to see because of the grey primer, but it is apparent, especially with my finger. I can feel the difference in depth and height. Right, this is where 2 parts of a steel mould join together. Now you need to go round this model looking for these mould lines. Now let me change my blade. Now because we're working with this special plastic, this plastic isn't a hard plastic like I don't know how you sub on a phone, dude. John might be better to ask. It is a little bit hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. The best way to sub on a phone is actually go to Twitch on your phone's web browser rather than the app, and do it that way.
Okay, so Twitch on your phone's web browser, brother. Right, so brand new blade.
It will keep trying to push you to the app, but ignore that and just go through the web browser.
New blade that already seems to have a little chip out of it for some reason. So with normal plastic, what you tend to do is scrape, right? You don't really want to do this. On the helmet, I used these because the helmet was really subtle. So these are sponge sanding pads available from B&Q. This is a fine, and it comes in super fine. All you're going to be doing over something like the helmet is gently look. So let me go over this, and it will actually pick up the mould line for you. So can you see that now? You can see that, the light and dark. So what we'll do is we'll keep you just gently with these sand pads. You probably won't make this 100% perfect, but you're going to take some of that edge out of it. And when we've done our modelling and we come to reprime this with like the Halfords Car Grey, like I've always said, it's a filler primer. So it will start to fill the imperfection. That's what you want to do on the helmet. And then on the rest of the body, when you find imperfection, don't scrape. So let me make an example for you. So there is here, you see this mould line that runs over the edge here. So instead of scraping, which will damage this plastic, you want a brand new blade, and you want to actually gently shave that mould line. Shave that plastic, right? You're not trying to scrape, you're trying to almost sculpt. So you want a really sharp new blade for when you're doing this. And again, with your sandpaper, you're just getting that lovely finish. Work round the model, right? Keep going, follow the lines. You'll find mould lines over the fingers. You'll find them a little bit on this knee plate. They're not particularly heavy, but some of them, like these ones on the corner of the shoulder pads, need to be cleaned. When you get things like this, you need to recarve detail. So watch, I'll push in straight here, because this is where you get an imperfection in a mould, and then I'll push here, and I've recarved that shape. So I've given that a square edge that wasn't there, and then with this part of the knife, I'm shaving that to flat. Right, so we're not scraping because of the material that this stuff's made of. It's really hard, but look, it does move, right? It's that kind of super hard, flexible plastic. What are they all talking about? Oh, right, JR, I'm not saying...
Yeah, it's nothing. They're talking amongst themselves.
Right, so, we're not working on that one. He's going to be a different chapter. Today's chapter is Space Wolves. So here is Mr. Space Wolf. These are the two parts. That's his head. You can see I've already done most of the clean-up work and so on and so forth, and I've got it to a point where I want. I have started to, as you can see here, I've removed, on this one, see this skull? I've removed the skull, right? Because I want to change that detail. And I have made this. And this is a former for a wolf pelt. Now, the reason why I've done this is because I need a hard surface. So this is dry now. And it does still have a little bit of give, but it is nice and hard, and I've got that proper drop, and I've got a nice thin piece of cloth. I'll talk you through how to do that. I don't want to go through it, so to speak, because I don't want you guys to be bored. So this is just a piece of plasticard. When you want to achieve like flat cloth, what you need to do is you need to mix your green stuff first, moisten your surface. And then that you're going to put your green stuff on, and then kind of get it out in your fingers to a rough shape, put it on the watered surface, and using your clay shapers and more water or moisture, you are going to be smoothing that piece of green stuff out and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and getting it really thin, right? Now it will stick to this plastic a little bit, but the water you've put underneath will create kind of a little bit of a barrier. So once you've got the shape, now what I did with this is I measured how round the shoulder pad was and roughly how long I wanted it, and I drew it on. Once I'd laid out the green, I cut it with this knife. So wet, dip it in water, not in my mouth, because I've got to remember not to do that on camera. And then you cut your two lines, and you've got the two sides. Then you go under with a knife. I'm going to show you this on something else. I don't see the point in doing it twice. And you go under with your knife with water, and you'll peel it off, and it comes off in a sheet. That's when you put it on here, and you get this first form. Because on the top of this, I am going to put fur, right? So a lot of this is going to be lost. Just the edges are going to be showing, like they do on the real wolf pelts.
So Matt's asking the question, how do you actually get the green stuff to stick to the model?
So when green stuff is initially mixed, it's very, very sticky. I'm going to show you a few things.
And does it stick okay, yeah?
And I'm going to show you a few things now that are going to answer a lot of questions. I'll show you a couple of bits I've made first of all. So we've got him with his former. I have made some of these. Let's get these out. Let's put these on this white bit actually for you. Okay, so look, these are just wolf's teeth. So they're just made from green stuff yesterday. I'll show you how to do one in a second, but simple thing. I've made wolf's teeth. I have made a former for a wolf pelt for the tail, right? So you all know the 40k models. This is a former, so I'm going to work on top, because you don't just try and make that wet all in one go. I've also made a little bag to go on his belt. And now on a separate piece of plastic, I've been doing some sculpting. Right, so let's move this. I'm going to lose my teeth. Let's put my teeth in the cup. It won't be long till I am actually putting my teeth in the cup. Right, so these are bits and bobs I've been sculpting off the model, and you can do this, right? So we've got some runes. I've got a new Space Wolf skull. Instead of the skull that I cut off the gun, I'm going to replace with this. And these are the starts of purity seals. Right, as you can see, there's some chain. I'm going to show you how to do all of this. You lot are going to be so proficient and stealing 25 years of me practicing, right? All in today and maybe next Monday. I've got the caps of the purity seals. Now, if you can see that, so you've got the standard rosette and you've got the skull. These, right? And I know, like, you're going, what? I can't do that. So easy. When I show you how I make these, your head's going to go, it's just going to pop. It's all clever and it's all tricks. Everything you do, and I tell you this every time, is about you understanding your medium. And when I teach you to understand the medium, you will demystify and debunk something that seems really super complicated. It's just patience, green stuff, right? And understanding the time for curing. So some of this was done. This chain, for example, right, was done. I think I did it just before 2 o'clock because I took Scarlett home at 2. And let's have a look. Let's have a look at the give, right? So there's still give, right? So what time is it now? It's 7 o'clock. So we've had 5 hours. So it won't take reshaping now, but it will take finalising of edges, right? So when it gets to this point, green stuff, it's, look, see how it's resistance and it comes back to where it was. But you can super tighten edges because it's got a bit of resistance. Let me show you in that. Let me see if I can get you that tilt. That chain, oh, I can't. Let's try there. That chain's even got holes going through there, right? Pushed in. As it gets drier, it lets you start pulling bits out and doesn't damage the actual form. So some of these, this one, the chain, these couple of bits here, they were all just sculpted normally, the skull and these couple of bits. These ones you can see though. Now this is a bit of a cheat. So I was doing Ravenwing, Dark Angels, years ago when I was big into my 40k and still working for workshop, that sort of thing. So I went looking in my drawers because I kind of like, oh, I'm sure I had something, and I found these things. And when I found them, I was like, you lot are going to love this. So these things you see with like, this is like Play-Doh time. Watch this. So instead of you sculpting a million things, so I had a project, I was going to do a big army, Raven Wing, I want loads of purity seals, I want loads of symbols. So these are all original one-off sculpts. So this is green stuff, and this is what you can do with it once you learn how to use it. So I didn't want to have to, if you can imagine, where I'm trying to make a duplicate of this piece on 20 different Space Marines, you're going to get somewhat of the same wing, but you're going to miss out by the odd 0.5 millimetre, and my OCD can't cope with that. Everything has to be, if I'm going to do a squadron of 10, they have to be identical. I just can't cope. I can't live with that. So how do I reproduce these easily, like I have here? Because if you notice, that is that. It's an exact copy. That purity seal is, oh, I've cut a couple of these off, but you get the idea. These parts, look, they're here. This is what I did. So you've done your original sculpt, and I'm going to teach you how to do the sculpting in a minute, but I want to show you the few tricks that I've gone to first. This is a Games Workshop type base thing, right? I don't know the exact measurements. It looks about 25 mil by about 75 or 100 mil. That's about 10 centimeters, isn't it? It'll look 100 mil by 25. Look at that, my eyes are pretty good. That's it. So I filled it, I mixed up a load of green stuff, I put it in there, I once again smoothed it roughly with my clay shaper, then I really, really wet this, like my former. Then I put the wet green stuff onto this, and I pushed with all, you know, the strength I've got. And because you've got that water barrier, the green stuff will not stick to this. This will not stick to the wet green. You pull out and you have like these formers. Look. So when I've taught you these little techniques and you're like, oh God, that was really hard, I don't think I could ever do it again. Say we just made, say during this tutorial, and these like purity seals are a really great little thing to use on modifying like your miniatures. You could make 1 or 2 purity seals, take your time, get it right and go, nailed it. But then you're like, never going to hit that again. Or you're at least worrying about it. Get yourself a little round 40k base and make individual ones, individual little stamps. So you copy your work and you can always reproduce it. And the beauty of green stuff when it's dry, so here's one dry. Look, it bends and can be formed and stuck in various beautiful flowing positions, right? So here's a little one I sculpted. So right, let's get on to actually doing.
How long do the casts last?
Oh, I made these about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're still perfect.
Yeah.
And look, they get a bit bendy. Look, and you just bend them back because it is just green in there. So they're really, really easy idea. So whenever you're trying to make multiples, you can see things like that. Yeah, where these used to go on the bike fairings. Yeah, you know all that, those Pretty Ravenwing Games Workshop shell? Yeah, I might have done all that design. And got, anyway, let's not talk about that. Woosha, what's in the past is in the past. Right, so these went on the bike fairings. You get it. I just wanted a mirrored. I'm never going to pull that off identically. You got the little sword made of plastic card, so medium that we've all seen worked with. Right.
Thank you.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some green now, and I'm going to show you the rough workings of how to make a purity seal, how to make the chain, how to maybe do something like that. Like, I'm going to do a couple of little bits. That was hard work when you're a bit drunk. I'm not a bit drunk. But
I think
Rattler might be a bit drunk.
When you're doing your subs.
I'm gutted, man.
What?
Because we could be a bit drunk.
Well,
We're
yeah.
providing a service, everyone. Right, so. Right, what we're going to... Because what I'll tell you roughly where I want to put stuff. I want to do a wolf pelt here. Hang some purity seals, both sides. I want to do like a chain or like a string across here with wolf's teeth and a gem. And I want to change that symbol. I want to hang some teeth off his shoulder pad. You'll see how I do that in a second. I want to put the bag and a rune here. I want a wolf pelt on his back as well, hanging off of his backpack. So that's what we're aiming to work towards. Oh yeah, and I want to put maybe his markings on his shoulder pad. So I think this guy's going to be a grey hunter, right? So for those of you that are not into it, that'll mean nothing. And for those of you that are into it, that'll mean everything. Oh, so much. This, we might have to start streaming for 16 hours because I don't think 2 hours is long enough, John. I've got something else to show you quickly. I'll show you the real inspiration behind this figure. I haven't seen this. Look at that. So this is Warhammer 40k book, 4th edition. I'm going to show you something. I haven't seen this stuff for a very, very long time. So this would be the right way up, right? As I'm showing them like this.
Yeah.
So this, and that's pretty in shot. This is the 4th edition of Warhammer 40,000. And this is where the inspiration for what we're going to do today comes from.
What page number is that?
That is page number 238 and 239. They're my Space Wolves. Okay, there's a few other things in this book that I've done, but this was like, this took me to 3rd spot. I was ranked 3rd at one point at Grand Championships in the finals. So, and that's what I did it with, was my Dreadnought army. So that's what, if you want to go and have a look at that, you guys can go and have a look. But this is roughly what I want to do. I want heavily converted. I want wolf pelts. I want that beautiful contrast of red and yellow, red and black, black and yellow, against that beautiful blue-grey. That was what originally made me fall in love with Space Wolves, was the colour of the armour. And they're just excellent, aren't they? They're orcs with power armour. Right, so, let's show you a few bits. Let's start mixing. You don't need gloves when you're working with green, like you do when you're painting. Not the same sort of thing at all. So, green stuff, 2-part epoxy putty. Yellow, blue, mixed together makes green. Good boy today, John. No my knife in mouth. Every time my knife gets near my mouth, right, and it's just habit, I can feel John going, stop it! Right, so, water, lots of water. Don't be like me and be an idiot and put it in your gob, right? It is stupid. So let's cut off a bit. When you're working on your little 40k stuff, you'll be amazed how little of this you ever need to cut at once.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
It does go a long way, but we're going to cut a bit more probably than we need because I want a bit. So always cut out that centre part because those two edges, they will dry out and you will get dry bits. And when you're trying to do like big flat areas, you're going to struggle, yeah, because you're going to get these dry points. So the bases is just mixed together. I can lick my fingers though, right?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. Because no one's got to eat this.
No. You're not putting a scalpel in your mouth, so that's okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, yeah.
What about if I put my mouth on the scalpel rather than the scalpel in my mouth?
No, it's the same thing.
If I just lick it,
No, it's the same thing.
Is that the same?
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
it's got an answer for everything. That's why we keep him round though, because he clearly appreciates that if I sliced my tongue off, these streams would suddenly become way less informative.
It'd be, yeah.
I have actually cut it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
So mixed up green with moisture. When you got the moisture in it, it's easy and it doesn't stick. As this, especially now, let's dry that off a bit. This becomes really sticky. It's really soft. Look at it. It's like nothing. There's no strength. There's no give. Right. So when you push at this, it will just squidge, but it really sticks to stuff. So let's start off with. In fact, I'll show you how one of these presses work. So I'm just going to take a little bit of green, and you won't. Every time you do this, it won't always be perfect. I'll roll out a little sausage. I'll get me a little brush with a bit of water. Scarlett, if you're watching, she's texting me while I'm streaming. I don't know if you're watching. Yes, my darling, I have seen a new Star Wars trailer. Thank you for messaging Dad. And that's why she's the best Delapina. It's simple.
Didn't want
as
you
that.
to miss out.
Oh, look, that's how sticky it is. Look, just leaving it on my mat is so hot. It's affecting the green, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, that was ridiculously fast. That's how sticky it is. Look, without water, it's going to stick to everything. So let's do that again and get it off of there. Water, come on before it sticks. So the heat's definitely affecting the green. Really hard to work with. Okay, good. Okay, turn it over. Let's find a little spot on this. Whoop. So just push in. Boom. See that? That's it. Right, you got a purity seal. So you don't have to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. What you will find when you're doing all this stuff is you might want to just run your tool along the edge of your things, because like that, that's just lifted up. That's it. And then leave it to dry. I'll show you how we clean up these drier ones in a bit. But then now let's make one from scratch. So if you're making a purity seal's so easy to do this. I used to do this as a tutorial. That's what I used to do, is give tutorials out at Games Workshop all the time. People love doing this. That's my Scarlett. Hold on. Hello, my darling. I'm streaming live and you're having a conversation with the internet. Of course I have. Have you seen it? Did you like it? Have you watched the new Mandalorian trailer? Tell Simeon there's a new Mandalorian trailer as well. Okay, I have to go now because I'm giving a tutorial. I love you. Bye, darling. Bye. Lunatic. Is it sweaty? Are you serious? Have I got sweat patches? Look at me. It's pouring out my head, man. She's so sweet, dude. Oh my God. She's so sweet. She's a wicked little camera woman as well. She filmed me doing my fish thing last night. So I made a bit of a sausage and I've got it on my thing. Clay shaper. moisture, and just push flat. See how smooth that is? You can't do that with metal tools. Right, so first thing we do, and you can do this going either way, either side. I'm going to do it this way, my most comfortable way. One. So I'm just going to do a line. Okay, now that's just to show me, if you can see, where the, so like the purity seals go one on top of the other. That's that. Now watch. Wet knife from the top. I'm going to do this. Wet knife from the top, slightly thinner at the top, slightly flared out at the bottom. Watch. Water on your knife, take away the excess. Water on your knife, take away the excess. Okay. Get my clay shaper. So I am using, where are you, you little stinker? There you are. So that's a little grey one. No, not that one. Where's my other clay shaper one? There it is. So flat edged. So we're going to go over both bits of that. Get that nice side. Now turn that. Cut. Cut. Remove. Cut. So you've got the bases of the purity seals there now. Let's just tidy up. Wrong one. Stop picking up the wrong tools, George. Right, now, water on this metal tool. Now I can go like this. So I can go to the edge. And as you start using water, you actually start going under it. Right, I will be completely honest with you. Remember, I am rushing. So as we go, this green's going to get a little bit harder. It's really hot. And I know that is affecting how soft this green is. Now push the other way. Now with this flat, I run like an indent. Just to push it out a little bit. And there we go back. And we tighten. Gently, gently. It's super soft. As it starts to dry, you'll be able to keep going back and adding more detail. And making it smoother and better. Right, so you can put so I'm not even sure if you guys are going to be able to pick up some of this little detail. Okay, so there's the rough of the two strands.
Maybe bring it up to the camera so we can see what you've done so far. Up higher, maybe.
It's going to go well out of focus.
Do you want
at
me
that
to
point.
focus at what you do?
It's hard to. It's because of the way the light catches.
Yeah.
So you can't really see. There's like a channel and one layer's sitting on top of the other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. One's behind the other.
Let's show them the top. The top of it, the top of the rosette. Blob of green. There's probably a bit more than I need. So flat tool to just flatten. It starts to make more sense once you get that on.
Yeah. You've got a spray gun to spray you.
I cannot express how hot. No, I've never tried Vaseline, dude. absolutely melting. It really is having an effect, yeah, on the green. The green's really soft. It's almost like liquid. So, right. So we're making that a nice little disc before we do anything else. Let's make that into a disc. That's all we're doing. We're using our clay shapers. Right, so here's the trick to doing the purity seal mark. Let's find what I've got. What have I got? Where's all my bits of plastic card gone? There it is. So this, look, it's like a little tube, plastic tube. You could use, you know, one of them things you put on a paintbrush or anything. Bit of moisture on it. Watch. Sorry, I'm just going to push it in the centre. I have to... You see like that? That's all I want to do. And then I move on to the next bit. Now you do 4 crosses, like this. Push in from this corner. Push. So turn it. Other side. Push. Turn it. So you want 4, if you can imagine, 4 quarters, push, and then finding the next one, which is there, push. Okay. Super soft at the moment, and we get the knife, because I need to be even thinner with this, and then you just push down right at that centre circle. Leaving that circle. You don't want to cut that circle. I know I'm turning it around a bit, but I need to, otherwise I can't really work the item. So you've suddenly got that 4-way rosette. So this is still just rough, yeah? Now, let's get a bit of this. This is how small we got to go, right? This is a piece of brass wire that I'm now going to use as a tool. Okay, so I'm going to push 2 holes. 1 hole, 2 hole. Can you see those holes? You can, can't you? Right, you can, can't you? Can you see them?
You probably see your screen's bigger than mine.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You can all see the holes, right? They're his eyes. And then one, just below it, not quite as hard pushed in, that's his nose. This is that easy doing a skull is on this scale. So that, see just there where my blade is? Just like where that cheekbone is, you're just going to push here. Right? And then do the same this side, where the cheekbone will be. Just push. Hold on.
Somebody's saying, where's my specs?
They asked.
That is incredibly small.
It's really up. John, try and focus me close.
Right, hang on a sec.
Let's try and
it's
show
going to take
him.
me a few seconds just to get my configuration up.
Do you remember I said I wouldn't forget anything?
Right, lift it up as close to the camera as you can. Go on, go closer. Go closer. Closer. See that, guys?
Where are we there?
Yeah, I can go a lot closer than that,
Right.
actually.
So, like, this is the start. Don't go any closer
Okay.
because you're making it too. It's the start. But I'm just. Let's go back to focusing on there.
Okay.
Shall I put that in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, yeah.
So right, it is the start, and as with everything, I'm super rushing. But that's the technique. It's the 4 corner push. You get the circle, 2 dots and a centre, and you just push at the cheeks, and it creates the shape of a skull. Really easy to do. Right? Let's do a... What I'll do... Just thinking about this. I will start to... And do you know what? Let me try a slightly bigger one. So we'll do another one of those, just as a purity seal. It might be a bit easier for you guys to see. I'll start putting out the bases of a chain. But the chain, considering how hot it is, what I'll do is I'll put the starter on and then we'll come back to it. Have you got a temperature thing on your phone, John?
No, I haven't.
It wouldn't tell you what temperature is
No,
in here, would it?
no.
So, right. It's actually running down my face.
I should imagine under the lights a lot hotter than just at the side.
Guys, see that stretch goal? I need it because I will have lost 3 stone by the time I've finished. So when you're doing a chain can be all sorts of colours. So I was the hobby tutor at Warhammer World. I was the only person to ever hold my job title. I worked at Warhammer World for nearly 2 years, and then I worked in London for about a year before that, before I was moved up. So, chain. That's the start of a chain. Chain can be any size, and if you want to be really anal, you do it where you've drawn it all out on paper, where you've got lots of lines, so each link is measured. I'm not going to do that. So let's just get this chain.
The pie says the temperature in my conservatory was 52 degrees today. I once made the mistake of leaving a very large 4-year-old model in there during a sunny day.
Look at it. Look, that's sweat. I'm baking it in. Super chatting don't come up, you know, John.
No.
No. Which is bad, really.
The problem with Super Chat is that they take so much money.
Do they?
Yeah, they take loads.
Don't super chat, just donate, Clive.
Yeah. They take half of it.
So let's get my glasses on.
I think Clive's doing it so he gets points on YouTube as well as Twitch.
Right, okay. So we've just made a nice flat there. We made a nice flat there. I want to show you that again, because it was almost too small to show you. Bigger tube.
Paul says just been rewatching The Dark Crystal. It's not a film that has aged well.
I don't think it aged well at all.
Really?
As well. Yep.
They're doing a TV series, aren't they?
I watched it not that long ago with Scarlett, and Scarlett was not impressed at all. Just to show you the principle of what I was talking about, yeah? So it's a quadrant. Oh my God, John. I'm having a tantrum here, how I am. I feel like I'm about to pass out.
Done out with the green screen because it holds the light of the heat of the lights in this area. Right?
That's much easier. It's better. They can see that a bit better. There you go. You can see that better. I've even put teeth on that one.
Do you want to lift it up?
Nah, that's all right.
Sure.
Yeah, we're just because we're going to crack on because we wasted loads of time right at the start. It's 8 o'clock
Oh.
already. So chain. Here's the weird tipped chain. I can't remember who taught me this. It was some friendly guy at workshop. And I'm not sure how well this is going to work because it is stupid hot, and it really is. The green stuff is like really soft. So, should we do a slightly thinner chain? It's a bit too thick, that. I'm just going to straighten this off. So when you work with water and green, look, it cuts beautifully with a really sharp knife. So, chain. It can be dependent on whatever scale you're going to do it. You can do this like super tiny. In fact, let's do that next to it. Let's do super tiny next to it. Let's get that. Just
Something called Zosie. Just a hello, new viewer, I guess.
Zosie, or is that Zoe Dalton?
Really? I thought she had a different name. Then.
She might have a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus me. Right, so chain. Here's the principle. You push, you pinch. You pinch. This is where you could be measuring this, right? Okay, so do you see what's starting to happen? That happens first, right? You get these like humps. And the green stuff pushes up. This is really, it's not the easiest technique in the world. But, like when you think it is that, can you see how tight that chain is? Right? That's how it starts. So, you then work with the raised edge and you imagine that that's these bits you just pinched up are the across points. Can you see what I did there? So I cut a little line, I pushed them, and then I'll turn it and I'll push this side. Okay, you can see that, cool with that light. You see how that's made like the dent come up, and then I go back. So we're starting to get the link. Can you see? Let's see if I can. Starting to get the link appear. Can you see the link? How it's starting to do this? Look. Right, so that's where the hole would be. Where the actual... So now when you want special little tools, and this is the thing I forgot today, I make my own out of toothpicks. So I want a really flat... Look how wet it is, how hot I am. My glasses are falling off my face. So you see how thin and flat I made that. Right? So I make a lot of my tools out of cocktail sticks. So you see where you start to push in the actual hole. Just to give you the rough. You can start to see the link, you can start to see the hole, and you can start to see the rough. Right, so as I demonstrated earlier, as this starts to harden, I then go back and just repeat those processes, right? And it will start to allow me to really sharpen those edges up, and you will suddenly start to get proper link, the proper shapes, the edges. When green stuff's wet, it's when you put it on and you get a rough form, right? When it's dry is when you finalize the detail, but you need to put average detail in. Like if I wasn't doing this as a stream right now, I would spend a little bit longer, rough it out a touch more, but then I'd put it to a side for at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then I'd come back and start tightening, start pushing, and start refining, right? So that's the basis, and we'll come back to that before the end of the show, and we'll see if it's gone a little bit harder and I can tighten it up a little bit more to demonstrate that. But let's move on to actually hitting this model. Right, because we're at 8 o'clock. Should we show them what we're giving them again quickly? Should we just show a couple of pictures when you've got a minute? Right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing like a couple of little bits because these are fun. So let's do this bag. So I pre-made the bag. The bag was really easy. The bag was just a blob of green left to dry, and then the next day I put that little flap on it, which is another piece of green, and little, you can see, look, lots of little bits of green. So let's stick him on because I want to show you something I'm going to do with a rune. Got any super glue, John?
I can get some.
I forgot super glue, John, and toothpicks, John.
Just give me 1 second, mate. I'm just putting the pictures in.
Right, let's take one of these runes off. So this is what we're giving you guys. It's a beautifully painted lambda that's featured on my tutorial videos. If we hit our stretch goal, someone will be winning that tonight. And John will give you a link in a minute. So this is the pre-dried stuff that I've done. This is a rune. When you want to get it off, you like wet your knife, go under it, and you'll just slice it off. It left a little bit. A lot of the times they'll come off clean, like that. So we got these dried runes off, and as you can see, they got this little. Let's put it back on that so you get a better focus point. They've got this.
Some there, but you might have to.
They've got this
crack
little.
it open somewhere.
Just do that. Perfect. Thank you, John. They got this little hole, which is going to be for like a loop, and I'll show you. Let's stick this bag on.
Whoa.
Where's my bag gone, John? Where's my bag? So let's stick this little bad boy on. So quite curious actually to see our super glue. Super glue seemed to stick the helmet because one of the helmets came apart,
Wow.
and super glue works. What are you wowing
My
about?
bottle's sweating.
Your bottle's sweating. Sorry, off camera as always.
Just weed yourself.
You just weed yourself.
I haven't really.
John weed himself,
It
everyone.
looks like it, but
It's what actually happened. Hawkshead!
£35 from Hawkshead.
What?
Whoa.
Dude, did you get your parcel? I don't like super glue gel. Right, now to be fair, there's a bit of a gap under this, so what I'm going to do to cheat it is I'm going to take a little blob of green and just pop that on there. Then stick glue to this bag, or even stick glue to that, and then squish it all together.
You'll be flying him on Wednesday. Yeah, it's got it.
Awesome. There you go. Perfect. So that's held that on nicely. So now this rune, I'm going to use that. Right, now all that is fuse wire. Let's get you some fuse wire. 15 amp fuse wire. It's really soft. You can use brass wire if you've got good side cutters. I've got a little bit of tube. Just wrap it around your tube. You can get all different size tubes obviously, so your rings Can be different sizes, as you can see. Slide it off your tube. Use a set of side cutters. And you make little rings, right? So that, because I want everything to look real. That's the way I build things. I want it to actually have the loop. So let's take this one. And I'm going to cut some of this off because I haven't actually got anywhere to put it. I just want to pretend it's got a loop. So I'm just going to be using half. Let's get my tweezers. And then I think we'll have this guy. We'll check it, just see if that's fine with me. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Hi, subscribe, thanks.
Thank you, Pie. So a little bit of glue just on there. I'm sorry, everyone. A little bit of glue just on there. I'm going to stick the rune on first. And then I'm going to take my tweezers. Let's get a bit of this glue out. Just put a bit in there for me. Take my tweezers, grab my half, both sides in there. So you can see you see that? So now the rune has got the loop that's going to the top of his belt, and he's got his little bag, and it makes sense. I can't, for me, I can't just put a rune there and not hang it properly with like the loop. You can see it quite nicely there. So let's do the same with the tooth. So here's same principle. Here's one of those dry teeth. I drilled a hole and I've put a loop in it.
Well, they just hoisted then, and Hawk's Head came back with 3,500 spondoozles.
Are you kidding?
No.
Wow. Okay, so sorry guys, off screen. I'm just going to open up this loop because I'd like to get this through this shoulder pad.
Off screen.
I'm back on.
Did you actually drill a hole there, or was it just
No, I drilled a hole.
drill a hole?
Yeah, sorry, I'll drill the hole, everyone. So we get it to hang nice. That's where we're going to glue it. Can't believe I forgot my bloody toothpick. So I always like to look at it and make sure it's hanging where he would be at rest. So that's one of the teeth off of there. So before I try and add the other one, because that's drying, let's go round to the front and let's add that little bit of detail that I made for the front of the gun. So this is kind of like your standard wolf's head as opposed to just the skull. Oh, bit of water. Now this was done today, so this will still be ever so slightly wet. Just with the water, look, it just comes off the plastic so easy. And let's just try it out very gently. Yep. Let's get some glue on this bad boy. Fact. I want that there. So. That's it. Replacement. Better than it was. Much better. Starting to look like Space Wolf things. So here at the front, I want to put a belt. I'm just going to use... Now, you can do it two ways, because I was planning on doing a necklace. I'll save this for the necklace. This is just brass wire twisted together to create like a braided chain. So if you wanted to use that, you know, like when they do those things going across the shoulders, and you've got that lovely braided rope that they use in the military. Okay, that's the sort of thing. Or you can just use, again, fuse wire, which is exactly what I'm going to do with this. I don't need to overcomplicate this front bit. But now I am thinking about it, maybe I should string up all my teeth before I actually put this in the hole. So let's just mark that. So that lets me see where to bend. My glasses are steaming up. So like when we're modelling ships, you're using stuff that, if you can get away with it, shouldn't really be for the job.
Yeah, it's looking at something and thinking what it looks like on a smaller scale, isn't it?
Yeah. And everything's like relevant, so wherever it's pinned from, make sure when you do stuff like this, like the bend, think about where the centre point of a bend is when something hangs. You know what I mean? So if something's at an angle, the centre point will change, wouldn't it, right? When it's hold flat, the centre point's the centre.
Yeah.
But if he's got his gun up and down, the centre of that loop is going to tip.
Yeah.
So that's, whenever you're doing anything like that, it's that sort of stuff you guys should be taking your time with.
Death Revives with us.
Yo, Mark. Look at the water coming off my face. Look at
I
it.
thought they were tears, George.
Jesus Christ. Look, that patch around my neck. Eventually I'm going to have a whole black shirt on. Oh, my word. Also, guys, if we don't hit stretch goal tonight, don't panic. It'll be back on next Monday. So, oh my God. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm melting. I've got to have a drink. I've got to have a drink back, John. Dude, honestly, I'm genuinely regretting doing this show. It's that hot.
Yeah, my water is lukewarm, but the moisture in here is still condensing, right? Because it's colder than the air. Yeah, it's just insane.
I reckon it's got to be 35 in here.
Yeah, easy.
So it's roughly, and then both ends I'll cap with blubber green in a second, but I want to get my accoutrements on there. So we got that started around that side, and we're starting to build. And see, this is definitely going to be a next week show, because I'm kind of building you through like the basics now. Now I did another two teeth already with the loop, so I might as well just, before I bother sticking that in, I might as well just thread them through. Where's that? So let's have one, two,
Shazbot was asking, are they orc teeth?
no, they're wolf teeth.
Wolf teeth.
Space wolf.
Space wolf teeth, yeah. Space wolf.
Yeah. They kind of value teeth like the orcs do.
Sarton James just tipped £20.
Thank you, dude.
Nearly halfway there on the stretch goal.
So I don't like the way I hung that one. I'm going to take that off, turn it round. Because I don't like the way it's hanging on the model. That made me happy. Yeah, that's better when I get them stuck where I want them.
Oh, so fiddly.
It's so fiddly.
I think I would have raged out by now. Jinky246, £5 there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dudes. To everyone that's donating. I just made a huge mistake, John, of not bringing any bloody cocktail sticks, man. So let's...
I've got some swabs with wooden sticks.
Oh, cocktail.
They're not cocktail sticks, but you can probably sharpen them.
Super fiddly stuff, this, yeah. Sorry everyone, this is really hard and fiddly, so when I go off camera, it's not something I'm meaning to do.
Some of these things are so small that the Rasta has to bring them right up to his face, and he goes off camera sometimes.
Yeah.
I do try and keep them there for you guys.
But you're just going to have to forgive me on that, because I'm struggling myself to see what I'm doing.
Captain X asks, would it be easier to airbrush first, then add the grid blaze?
No. Think of all the glue mess and all of that stuff that happens whenever you paint anything.
You'd ruin your paint job, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd kill it. You'd destroy it.
Yeah, it's all the handling that goes on.
So I want this one first. I think I've decided. I don't want it that way. I want it that way. Then the rune. What's that noise, John?
That's my phone on.
So this is just like actually making a little necklace. Right.
Rasta teaches you jewellery making.
So this is just getting in the wire. I'm not worried about where they are at the moment. I'm just trying to look how bad I am. So unprepared. It was the heat, John. It was the heat.
Tell me about
And I was so proud of myself how well prepared I was. One day I'll get it right, John.
Just do yourself a list.
What episode's this?
17.
But then I'd just forget to write something on the list.
Yeah, but
And it'd
you
be
keep
exactly the
list from
same
one-
difference. And all I'd done is I'd taken up time out of my life, my incredibly busy life, to write that list.
Yeah, but you
And
don't,
I'd still
you
forget
don't
something.
delete that list from 1 week to the next. You keep
It's
that-
always different.
You keep that
But
list.
it's always different, depending on what I'm making or what I'm doing. That's the problem.
Ah.
So let me try and...
Did John bring the coins? Who knows?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Oh, Alex.
Alex. Yeah, he's just resubscribed as well. Oh, Titan James gifted him. Very nice.
Oh.
All the coins are here now.
So just put a bit of glue, and I'm going to seat that, because I decided that's where I want it. And look, so I've stuck just that back edge, so it's lifted up a little bit, which is what you want. You want it to look real. Just put a little spot there. Sorry, that was me just blowing the excess. And then I will position these teeth the way I want them.
Lee Dalton's just sent us some.
What has he sent us?
He sent us Rasta ships I just got off him and a Jedi Wookiee for a giggle. Let's put them up.
Okay. Let's cover those ends. Really simple, just like we did with the purity seals, right? So a bit of green. Let's make a sausage. Let's get rid of this, because it's right under my face. Where's my bit of plastic? It looks better
Some
anyway.
ships from Lee Dalton.
Oh yeah, they're what I gave him.
Yeah.
So let's make a little sausage.
I have no idea what that is.
What?
That.
Oh, it's the Wook Wook.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a Wookiee Ewok love child type situation.
Crossbreed.
Yeah. So I'm just going to cut. I've made a like a sausage. How big are these? So there and there. So what I'm hoping is that that's given me two roughly identical bits of green.
Is that what Kev looked like when he was under 5 foot tall?
That was when Kev was born.
I should have just tipped £10.
Thank you, dude. Kev was the shortest Kev's ever been. Is 4'2".
Is that
Seriously.
He arrived though.
And that was 3 months before he was born. Yeah. So where's my little sculpty tool?
So Matt sent me some pictures now, has he?
Who met with him?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Is it going to be that?
I don't know. Well, there's one from Alan Barlow here.
I'll do it.
That is actually quite pretty. It's going to take me a second to get them up. So.
It's a good job you thought it was pretty and not rubbish, because you said that out loud. It's a good job you weren't sat there going, that's rubbish.
I would never do such a thing. Now, Matt, where have you actually sent your images? Because at the moment I can't see them. Sent them to me. Matt Witham sent photos to Weekend Wars. Alright, okay. I'm
Really-
getting there. I'm getting there.
Really simple. Just to hang it off of.
So this was Matt's hot rod, wasn't it? That we were showing.
That's Desi Potato.
Yeah. Right, Matt with them first. Here we go. Here we go. He says. Where are they gone? So I'll go on.
Who's got a pop work in process? Awesome. Right. Let's get that stuck on.
There's
as well.
Matt with them's latest.
Oh, it's metallic. Is that blue?
Yeah, it's like a grey blue.
So good. So good. I covet that largely. And see how clean his work is. You'd see it if it was dirty through that paint.
Yeah.
Yep, of course it is. Oh man, I love that. Stolen. So stolen. That is wicked.
And I think this was Alan Barlow, some Legion Plus. It's a bit big at the moment.
That's a bit big, John.
Yeah, it's a bit big. Hang on.
There's other people in this stream, you know.
There are some very pretty Legion models there.
Yeah, awesome. Legion stream when the new one comes out, definitely. Who's sending a pop pic? Who said that about pop?
What's that?
Someone said something about they sending through work in progress on a pop they're doing.
It was Jinky246.
Jinky's working on that.
You just sent my pop. Where did you send it to, dude? To sales. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
So
I can find that.
I've just stuck that. Bugger. Too quick, George. Too quick. Okay. Right. Where are we?
So Lawless has sent her daughter's first models to Weekend Wars messaging.
How old's your daughter, Lawless?
So it was Jake Bale's been working on a pop.
Ah.
There we go. That's what Jake's been working on.
How cool's that, everyone?
Very nice.
Yeah, Jake's awesome. We're going to have Jake in soon. Yeah, these are really cool. I've actually become, quite excited by the whole prospect of painting them, which I wasn't expecting to get super excited by them, but it turns out I have.
And now we're going to find some sort of pictures. Hang on a sec.
What pictures now?
Ones of Lawless' daughter. Law Smith. Actually, very nice. Very nice.
Did she say how old she was?
Probably. I've been messing around
Yeah,
trying to
I
get
know,
these photos up. Almost 10.
I don't like the bend that way.
There we go.
Shame is that.
Some images from Lawless store.
Oh, well done. Nearly 10. Jesus.
It's quite a neat painting.
It's very good for
Yeah.
nearly 10.
Better than I did.
You are quite good, John. You know.
I need to spend some time. And they're off Heiston again.
I am like drained from this heat. My normally talkative self is like deeply
So I'll
subdued.
work to keep going, innit?
Yeah, when is this up? So this is one of those pre-dried purity seals. So I use parts of them. I don't always use.
Are you going to get on to doing any of the wolf fur? Because they were quite excited.
I am
about that
in a minute.
start.
I will. I just want to get a couple of these
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Who came back from the heist? J.R. Ewing, Death Revived, Lawless,
So I'm
Zoe
just-
Dalton, Alan Barlow, and Archie.
Giving it a bit of a push. I keep working off camera. It's really hard. Oh well, if it has, it has now. Fuck.
Yeah, successful heist, J.R. Ewing, but you're not actually gambling very much, are you? You came away with 3.
What? Or did he gamble 1?
I must have done, yeah.
What's an idiot?
And now he's been duelled for 66.
By Lee Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always 66.
And Lee Dalton won.
Who was that dueling him? Jake. Did Jake lose?
No, it was Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Hey Kai, somebody's got to win.
What's he saying?
He's saying he doesn't know whether to heist all his points away or save them for the raffle. I won't win.
You might win, Kay. Don't be negative, man. It's not negative Tuesday, negative Wednesday. It's happy Monday. And my glasses keep falling off my face.
Jay Bradley, 247. Good evening, Rasta and John.
Hello. do believe I've got some green mixed, don't I? Yeah, it's still wet enough.
Kai says 11 months I've been sub, never won a raffle on the stream. Bizarrely though, I keep winning stuff on Gold Squadron stream though, and I barely ever watch that. And there's a look at the draw.
That's how it goes, man. You win some, you lose some.
Hey, we had a winner on who was sat next to you last week.
We did. That was shocking. That was. Yeah, I'm not sure I completely believe him that he won it. I think he might have been cheating a little bit there, John. And I think we need a steward's inquiry. He may have like rigged the software or something.
Do you think so? He does have access to it. It's true.
Used his intelligence to be more intelligent than us. Something like that, John, has happened. My glasses! I'm trying to do something, and before I can get to it, my glasses are about to hit the ground. So I just wanted to do that. I wanted to show them a couple of the purity seals stacked. Let's use that one. Should we use that one?
Weekend was. I'm bringing Corin around the back now.
Who is?
JRU wing.
Yeah, alright. If bombs work differently, maybe, but not anymore. So what I'm doing is just, I've used 2 purity seals. I like to cascade them one on top of the other. And then one of these badges right on the top of that purity seal. You see what's starting to happen? So you've got the 2 cascading purity seals, that holds that side of the pelt. I'll do the same thing at the back as well, behind, because I like to work out how they've got that pelt on. So fur, should we start doing the side? Let's get this out of the way, make a bit of space. So those of you that are part of my Patreon will have, look at where my glasses are. This is all happening naturally. Right, so those of you that are part of my Patreon will have watched the show. Lucky Callsign donated $2.50 just because my glasses are falling off my face. Right, and that's how hot it is in here. Whoa. So those of you that are on my Patreon will have seen me do my furry dial. I don't think I'm going to go quite as mad as I did in that, but it's similar sort of thing. So I'm going to work in layers up, starting at the bottom, working up to the top, and then working like in a line across as you do it. So
Yeah, Lucky Callsign is the stream boss at the moment. That is true.
if Lucky Callsign is the stream boss at the end of this stream, she gets 1,000 spondoolies.
That is correct. Stream boss gets 1,000 spondoolies.
Right, so like a little tooth, and then let's just do that for the minute. And again, let's get another one. They don't have to be the same size, they don't have to be perfect. Layer it next to it. Same again, just push like that down.
Another £5 from Death Revived.
Thank you, Mark. Right, so that's the process we're going to do now. Where's that green stuff gone? We're just going to keep repeating and repeating that. So tiny little bit of green. I'm going to make some of these all at once. And they can be all different sizes, right? But you don't want a massive. One end's pointy, one end's fat. A bit like a tooth. The ones I did for my dial covers and the furry falcon, they're really like ear really pushed it. I mean, it's the same sort of thing, but
Paul Spurgeon's off on a heist.
to the local co-op.
No, it's about 4 hours away.
It does live in Essex. I'm surprised he's not more orange, and he hasn't had more Botox, because he lives in Essex.
Yeah. I got it.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Did you get what I was doing?
Yeah, I got what you did.
So if you noticed, I've left a little bit of that original green. I want this bit hanging out at the bottom, which looks like the actual flesh that the fur's on. So you push at the top. And you can kind of give it that little twists at the bottom of the fur piece. And as we keep going through this in layers, it will start becoming pretty and beautiful. So that's why the former's under there, so I can get these like raises and lumps and bumps in this fur. And if you don't do that and you try and work on things like this all at once, it just becomes a big, horrible mess. So you can get those, when you do it like this, you get the tip of the fur and you get these little curls, right? So you get these lovely bits to pick up and paint. Fur shouldn't just be a bit of green that you do this to. I'll show you. I think a lot of
the cheers, Richie.
a lot of people think this is fur, that you just do that to green. It's just bad, and fur, it doesn't read well. Yeah, sculpting realistic fur is, just think about the concept of what you're trying to achieve. You're never going to achieve truly realistic fur at this scale unless you spend hours and are like a deeply talented professional sculptor. So what we want to do is we want to create a picture like you would in a cartoon or a comic.
Wow, Lee Dalton made out like a bandit there.
What? Is he the
On
only
the heist,
one?
2,331.
What?
Mr. Stander, 77. Archin, 87. J.R. Ewing, 3 again. And Zoe Dalton, 35.
What, have they all just been heisting like
They've all
lunatics?
been heisting, they came out alive.
All of them?
Yeah.
Has that ever happened?
Not everybody. No, not everybody. Some people didn't come out.
And don't get me wrong, right? So each one of these has got like those lines kind of pushed into it for a bit more detail. But I'm not just wildly kind of hacking at it with my tool. So let me layer up. So so you'd work all the way around, right? And then you go to another layer. And I typically put them like bricks, so halfway. Or like roof tiles even. What are you hopping about?
So they're just dueling and heisting, and Paul Spurgeon just lost to Richie C.
Oh, I would have laughed at that too.
Exactly. J.R. Ewing's doing a duel.
Clive's got a Lucky Call Sign's getting battered. Who battered Lucky Call Sign? Bless her. You know she's a kid, guys.
Yeah, but unless they knock her off, you're not getting your stretch goal.
No. But, you know, I still feel bad for her. It's a quiet night. It's a bank holiday Monday. I can see by how many viewers we got. They're all out on the razzle dazzle, aren't they?
There's quite a few barbecues going on tonight, I should imagine.
Hey, thank you all for it.
It's all for it.
So, Euros. Talk. What do you all think? You all probably watched more of it than I did. I watched the final. It was the only game of Euros I watched. Talk to me. Hot night, low steam. Yeah, man, it's proper. Hey, it's bank holiday, innit? Everyone's got shit faced. It's what I'd be doing if I wasn't here.
Imps on top, Lee says. Tom James was there.
Yeah, we saw you. Thanks for giving Ashok a bit of a hug there, James. I didn't think there was anyone else there for him. It ain't.
Euros not enough warlords.
Who said that?
Pie.
Yeah, we weren't there, were we? I mean, it was only Dave that went. Did Dave go? Or did he not in the end?
Archer says, really happy to see my guys from Ireland were out reaping and having fun. Tom James, did you notice your dials on stream?
I did, dude. I wondered where he got them from and why he had them. So what was the story behind that, James? Because I was thinking those dial covers need actual dial covers. Alessandro trying to message me midstream, the crazy Italian lunatic. Are you going to be at the shop tomorrow? I don't think so.
HC says there was a much more prestigious event taking place at Warlords on Saturday.
There was, won by some scrub. Wonder who that could be, eh, Richie C? Well done, mate. So chuffed that you won.
Death Revive says, didn't get to watch, was Eastern Canadian nationals, but the Euros turnout is really helping our argument to get events away from cons. Keep being awesome, Euro friend.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Yeah, I completely agree with you that we shouldn't be having these events attached to other events.
Cotton James says he forgot his dials and James to the rescue.
Whoa! How'd you forget your dials on that? It's last day of bloody Euros and I could be playing in the final and I forget me dials. Ashot have been playing like a boss, apparently, to get that far. You don't get that far just by pure luck, man. Man, I had some crappy luck on Saturday. I had to leave. I was in such a foul mood by the end of it all. And that's very unlike me. But hey ho, what do? We all have a bad day once in a blue moon. Tricky's not upsetting anyone else with your mood. That's why I left. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was four. Oh, it's too quick. Whoa, who's that? Macon Delgado. I like that name. Happy that Euros got first round. Yeah, the Americans weren't ever winning that. What are you chatting about? You're mad. I love you, Americaners, but like, there's some serious players in Europe. I love you all. But there just wasn't enough of you in the room for one of you to have done that at the end of the day. So can you see from top to bottom? Look, fur, and it's cascading, but it's layered. Ooh. Come back, you little stinker. God, I love Space Wolves. No, honestly, Fred, are you seeing what I'm doing, dude? Like, I'm not doing anything that any of you couldn't do, surely. Am I? I don't think I am. I'm making little, it's like playing with plasticine when you were a kid.
I think says what's on a wind-up. Up for question mark.
Yeah, orc fur.
Orc
Orc
teeth,
fur, yeah. Orc fur, orc teeth, orc gun, orc armour. So this is an Evil Sons Space Marine. What are you doing there? So here's a bit of advice as well. See, unlike me, who's trying to show you everything at once, be careful when you're working with wet stuff and you don't go and put your fingers on things, which I'm sure I just have a minute ago, but I'll fix that. It's fine. But we definitely are getting there with the fur, right up to the top now.
Saying you got creative vision. It's the hard part.
Alright. Fair. Alright. You got to remember as well, if you really want to be like successfully creative with anything, try and be creative about something you're truly into.
And practice.
Practice but like these Space Wolves were like a big thing, and I'm like, I deeply love what they look like, and so for me to look at it and turn it into it wasn't much of a stretch in my head, if you know what I mean. But if you said to me turn it into a different chapter or what, I'd be lost at that point. But yeah, practice.
And I have a picture next to you.
That's a good idea. I googled, like this morning, funnily enough, I googled Space Marine or Space Wolf shoulder pads and Space Wolf markings and stuff like that, Space Wolf symbol, and you get a few little bits, and it just helps you with what you're doing.
£17.50 from Ulfric.
Love you, dude. Thank you all for it. Love you, Lee. What you like.
We're just £12.50 off our stretch goal now.
So you can see what's going on there, right, guys? And so with any green, as it dries, you can go back in and you can push and prod and finesse. Right, so like this has had about an hour. It's been curing, just sat on the side, so it is starting to get a little bit better for working with.
Paul, it's 500 per ticket, I think.
Yeah, 500 per ticket, unlimited, and if you are a subscriber, you get an extra ticket for free, guys, which is pretty cool. And so just to give you a heads up, I painted the same ship for a customer, and he paid in the regions of £280 for the ship. Okay, so just think about what you're potentially going to be winning at the moment. Right, I'm going to carry on a little bit more with my fur. Oh, 10 quid off. Thank you already, guys. You're always so generous every week. So, any of you in the UK were watching Film 4 last night by any chance? There was this film on called The Something Experiment. And it was about a group of people that worked in this government building, and then they all basically ended up killing each other. They made them. What was it called? Come on, someone must have been watching that last night. The Belko Experiment. Thank you. Messed up film. Seriously. Man, that was a messed up film. Didn't leave me feeling particularly great by the end of it.
Was it a feel-good movie then?
No. It was not. No, it wasn't.
Well, I showed you your first bit of Game of Thrones earlier, didn't I?
Do you know what? Yeah, John showed me who the guy that plays the Mandalorian is in Game of Thrones. And I'm sorry, but I am one of those people that have never seen Game of Thrones. Ever. Oh, wow, P. Thank you, man. And this was my first ever watch of Game of Thrones, and it was who?
The
Tyrion?
Prince Oberyn.
Prince Oberyn versus the Mountain. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. And when I saw it, I specifically quoted that film that I watched last night and went, that's not that film. It's Pedro Pascal, isn't it? The guy that's going to be the Mandalorian. Is it? Is that his name?
I don't know. I thought it was the... Oh,
Lee.
Stretch goal.
Thank you, man. Oh, Terminator, I love you, brother. And all frick. Thank you.
Yeah,
look,
Pedro
they're all gone
Pascal
mad.
played Prince Oberyn. Yeah.
Oh, look, they're all gone mad. Thank you so much, everyone.
I was worried then that I thought I told you wrong. Thank you, guys.
Guys are awesome. Oh, yeah, and by the way, you see these models, you guys are going to get to own these. Okay?
Yeah.
These are going to come. I'm going to be making bases for each one as well. They'll be magnetised, so you will be able to put these back in the original pot box. They will come with a custom base, and each one will come with a photographed certificate of authenticity for each one. There will only be one of each. They will all be individuals, and I'll never do any more. So these really will be something unique to own. So what you're watching, someone gets this. And I'm doing Legion of the Damned, definitely. I'm thinking of Raven Wing for the next one. Oh God, it's 9 o'clock already.
I'm just going to settle the giveaway.
Right. So, thank you, Alan. To enter this competition for that beautiful, beautiful Lambda, it's 500 Spondoolies a ticket. You get an extra ticket if you are a subscriber. And you are going to need to enter, don't do it yet, ! raffle with no spaces, then a space, and then the number of tickets you would like. Like I said, if you're a sub, you'll automatically get the extra one. They're 500 and they are unlimited, unlike most of our other giveaways which have a limit. And John will be putting that up in a second.
And away we go.
Okay, guys, the giveaway is open. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to finish this before we're off stream. It's only going to take me another few minutes.
First one is Lawless, then
Ah, Lawless. I'll put your dial cover in the post tomorrow, babe. Just letting you know.
Death Revive, Richie, Jinky, Boba Fred, all entering.
And Tavern Wars. Is Tavern Wars? Has anyone noticed if Tavern Wars is on?
He's not. No, I don't think Tom Wars.
Do they have Bank Holiday Monday in America? They don't, do they?
I don't know. No, probably not.
Yeah, Dalton does want that ship, and I don't blame him. I'd love him to own that ship. Like,
Caleb Haney.
Yeah, go on the Haney boys.
No, Tam Wars isn't with us tonight.
Yes, my Vipers did get to me, brother. Thank you so much. I will be on to your dial in the next week or so, bro. I've got loads of Vipers. I'll be doing some of them on stream. And then I'm giving loads. I'm going to have loads that I'm going to be either selling or giving away. Those special Matrix Vipers.
Yeah, right, I'll do that now.
What's he doing?
He's transferring some of his spondoos to the cool side.
Lover. See, guys, that's a good dad there. I like that.
They've really jigged Streamlabs a bit, and it's a bit weird. It's taking me a second to find that. That's done.
Right, guys. The win streak continues. They're having a good night tonight, aren't they? Heisting. I've never come out of a heist alive. I've had about 100 jewels and only won 3.
Yeah, I'll do that for you, Lee. Them batteries are gone in the keyboard.
No.
Yeah. Let me rub them.
Rub 'em?
Yeah.
I got something you can rub.
It's not a battery.
It gets full of energy sometimes, eh? It's always ready.
It's a family show.
What? Talking about my battery, John? And there's lots of different types of families, John.
Done. Tom James, yes, okay.
What?
They're all asking to transfer spondoos
Who's he transferring spondoos to?
to Alex, I think.
Oh. Aww. Aww. It's love.
Must be. Or something.
You know, I'm officially adopting a new child next month.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Who?
He's a bit old, but I couldn't leave him. I couldn't just see him go on the street. Alex. Apparently he's ash trained. He goes in the litter box.
I've seen him. He's tidied up in here before, and that's no mean feat.
So look at that, guys. That's your fur. So you've got your fur, like the belly skin, if you know what I mean, the hide, or the actual, like the leather. Then it like flaps over, goes up to the purity seals. Purity seals hang nice. This will be where the wolf's head is. I'll have a couple more purity seals hanging round the back here. Yeah. Then moving round, you've got the front of the gun with the Space Wolf symbol. Got some bits on there. I don't think I need really much else to do here. I don't really want to add too much. I'll just tighten those up. We got the rune. We got another tooth. I'll add another tooth because I've drilled the hole here. And I have got this wolf pelt, which I'm going to end up attaching, doing the same sort of fur that I've just done at the front on it, and then using those bits of chain. Where are they? Those bits of chain, literally just a link or two to like mount it somewhere on the back here. And then yeah, I will plaster the odd purity seal, maybe one hanging off the side here or two hanging off and another couple on the back. I love purity seals. I don't think you can put too many purity seals on it. If I did that, I would be worried about painting over it. I don't think it means over it. Yeah, I understand that, dude, but you can always reprime, wouldn't you? So he's getting there. You can start to see the transformation. I've still got shoulder markings to put on. I've still got some more gribblies and bits and bobs, but we're getting there, and we've done kind of like a talk through on the green. Let's just see if I've got a second just to see this. Who's that, man? It's my mum. So why is it, everyone, you technology people, right? My mum's got an iPhone. I think it's 5S like mine. And every time I send my mum a picture message, she can't get it. Why can't she get it?
She's a mum.
I know, but like, it's don't even appear in her message stream. And she's got internet and she's got all of that. So look, it is right. It is starting to harden, right? It is starting to have.
We're all coming up with suggestions.
What for?
Get pictures to your mum.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Tell me, John. Tell me.
Use WhatsApp.
That's what my mum said.
Are you sending it to the right phone?
Yep. Because she gets all the actual word messages.
Maybe send it by pigeon.
That I could try. Look, can you start to see a little bit? Because I ain't got hours to show you, but can you start to see, as it starts to cure up, I can start tighten up and it has more forgiving. You can see, right? I know you guys can see. That's the properties of green stuff. So like right at the beginning, first hour and a half, it's just like a sticky mess. But you can kind of get the work on and the bulked out. But then as you start working, like it's still totally workable an hour and a half later. Like totally, I can change the shape completely if I wanted to right now. But it's got some take. And probably an hour down the line from now is when I can really start to get the edges of a chain link and, you know, make that hole perfect and make it look like it's actually linking, you know, the way a chain does. So green's very much about a use of time. It's very much about time. So Right, I would love to do loads of this for you, but I'm done. I'm done. I'm so melted. Look at me. I love this t-shirt. Second time I've worn it here. First time I got that on it. Second time I beeped it up with sweat. I didn't swear that time. She has SMS, MMS messages turned off in. So does green stuff come like that pre-made putty I used to fill holes in the wall? No. Who was that asking that? Who was that?
Paul.
Paul Spurgeon.
Yeah, I think so.
That's how green stuff comes, Paul. It comes as a blue strip and an invisible strip next to it. Look, John. You chroma keyed out the yellow as well.
I was like,
Yeah. It's awesome. Look.
that's weird, isn't it?
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So it's blue and yellow, and you just mix it together, Paul. Cut the centre where they join together out, though. So listen, I got to be honest with you. I think I'll finish this one at home. I think I might do that. I think I might finish this at home, and then we'll get into painting it.
Painting it next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll finish these few bits at home. And those of you that are on my Patreon, I'll try and take some photos as I'm doing it, like I did with my Dengar ship, and they'll be just for you guys. So I'll show you when I've completely converted it all up and got it to that point before I undercoat it, so you can see where all the green and all the modelling was done. And then next week, I am going to paint this bad boy.
That'll be wicked. I'd like to see that.
Do they have Space Wolfy colours in Games Workshop Air range?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool. So I can get like
You
dark
can
at
get
blue
more,
greys.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
okay, brilliant, brilliant. Right, everyone, I'm knackered. I'm about 3/4 of a stone lighter.
I think you've got a few minutes to try and knock Clive off Stream Boss. They're all having a go at him at the moment.
Right, we will give you all another couple of minutes that if anyone hasn't entered the raffle and would like to enter the raffle, it is !raffle space and then the number of tickets. Time to not win me the Lambda. You don't want a Lambda, you want an Orc Battle Wagon, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shazbot.
You do some very nice orc stuff. And we did talk about you.
I'd love them to do an Orc pop.
That'd be cool.
That'd be very
Yeah.
cool. I'd go mad. I will one day paint a 40k Orc on stream, but like the next. Babe, yes, and I haven't had a chance. I'm going to do a big post on Facebook. Zoe is the best little artist. She sent me this amazing picture, just amazing, and I'm going to put a post up about it. So amazing. Thank you, darling. I love you loads. That's what the good thing. If I win it, I'm flying it at the Warlords in a fortnight. Damn straight you should. Oh, you're going to bring like. Oh, everyone's going to be flying that bloody list. Right. 30 seconds and I'm going to close this raffle. I feel proper drained, you know, with this heat, you know. It's like, knock me out. Not me.
I'm not surprised.
Captain Rex is coming up next month, everyone. Yeah, if you guys want to come and meet the legendary, he's been in Star Wars Rebels, he's been in Return of the Jedi, he personally knows Hera Syndulla, knew Kanan when he was alive, and it's rumoured that he's the actual only person that knows where Ezra is, Captain Marty Rex. Okay? You need to come and meet him. He's a legend. Get an autograph and everything. Can I paint you 3 tie V1s? Yeah, if I had 3 tie V1s. Funnily enough, there is, I do believe, an Inquisitor to match that paint scheme and a converted Sontier matching that paint scheme that will be coming up as a giveaway in future weeks. Sodrex student will be there. It should be sure enough for everyone. Yeah, you weren't in the films, dude. And he's got that lovely bushy beard. Bush beard.
Yeah, I'll dig that bit.
I dig the beard, man.
Yeah.
I want to be that cool
Yeah.
when I'm 45 like Captain Rex.
Yeah. Not me.
You're only 32, ain't you? He like that. He went all like, he's gushing.
I am.
He's only 32. Right, close that down, John. I want to go home now and rehydrate myself in a bath full of rum.
Come on.
It's closed. I was in deleted scenes, Bob Fred. I like it. Right, listen, this is a big one. There's a lot of people in this stream. Let's first of all, because I like that Ryan does this. How many tickets did we sell, or did get taken up?
We had 25 people enter.
25 of you are in the loop.
75 tickets between
What?
them. Yeah.
You what?
75 tickets between the 25
Shut
views.
your face.
Well, Lee Dalton had 13.
Wait a minute. I need to do. Hold on. That's 37,500 spondoolies.
Yeah, that's a lot.
If only it was real and it actually cost anything. Right, so are you ready? Are you ready? Draw it!
F3AX!
Oh my god! Alex, you won it! It's not a fix. Congrats. So jelly. Boom. Congrats. Alex. Where is he? Where is he? He's probably having a little moment.
Yeah, he's probably gone to get a cup of tea or something.
Has he gone? I thought he plays football on Monday night.
He was on the stream.
I'll be having that then. We'll see about that. It's great. I don't even have to post it. He's going to be living with me.
James gave him the spondoolies to enter as well.
No.
Yeah, he did.
Where is he? Come on, speak up, you hider. Yeah, there he is. Wicked. So, look, thank you. You all contributed. One of you could have been the lucky one, like Alex. There's always that going on every week. Next week, I am giving you a Jump Master because I've done my new converted one. So you are going to get my original Dengar, or I might give you my Tel Travura. These are all Canon paint jobs, proper pretty. Trust me. Ask Ulrich, he owns 3 of my Jump Masters. So it'll be a little bit of a much lower stretch goal than tonight was, but it'll be smaller than normal because it's only a Jump Master. You guys are going to love it. So on that, keeping with that scum theme. It's been, yeah, look, Archling wants it. I get it. So I like that. I like to switch the factions from week to week because
that's good.
Not everyone's into.
Yeah.
And I will get round to buying some of the new ships. You know, some more of the Jedi, those Padme ships and some of the droids, get those painted and give some of those away because I haven't got any of those for myself yet. So but if I get them out, the people that play those lists, you know, play like those factions will get a chance. Thanks for choosing, dude. Most useful vid going straight in my favourites. Thank you, dude. Honestly, I will just say this. Please bear this in mind. I genuinely have had adverse reactions with my green tonight because of the heat. I wouldn't recommend any of you sitting in a sweatbox over 30 degrees and trying to work, period. It does affect your gear, it affects drying times, wet times, and it affects how you're going to perform. So this is not ideal, but this is England. We're going to get 2 more days and we're never going to have it for another year. So don't stress about it. Thank you all.
Ulfric Stream Boss.
Ulfric Stream Boss. So Ulfric is going to get 1,000 spondoolies added to his account. We will be back next Monday with another tutorial. Next Monday we will be painting said Space Marine Pop. And tomorrow night is Weekend Warlords Tuesday night live dream team thing that goes on, which is awesome and much fun. Must be watched. Josh is back in the house. He's my favourite.
Yeah.
He gives hugs, gives nice cuddles.
Yeah. He's cuddly.
He is. And you can hide food in his beard for later.
Yeah.
It's what I do. Thank you, Archnin. Thank you, all you supporters. Your names will come up in the stream, in the titles afterwards. If you haven't liked, followed, or subscribed, please go and do that. If you can spare $2 a month, please sign up to the Patreon, rastamacepainting.co.uk, I do believe. Yeah. Log on to Facebook, join our X-Wing groups, and we've got various different groups, whether you're into 40k, whatever you've watched this for, and try and join us on one of our X-Wing tournaments. And until then, I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.